given the addictive nature of sugar, somebody who's tuned into this point and they're like, okay, sugar is a problem for me. I've been adding it to my coffee. I've been having sugary cereal. I'm ready to make the change. Is it smart for somebody to quit cold turkey, or is there an approach that you have when you're working with people to help them get off this drug, basically?
Well, first of all, you have to recognize you're a sugar addict. Anybody who says, oh, I have a horrible sweet tooth, that's sugar addiction until proven otherwise, whether you're obese or not. And there are plenty of thin people who are sugar addicts too. That's number one. Number two, if you are a sugar addict, then you have to treat this like an addiction. Now, there are different ways to do addiction. There's cold turkey. Now, we've done cold turkey, in our clinic, and many, patients have done extraordinarily well. But what you have to recognize is that the withdrawal phase can be upwards of 2 weeks. And it's going to be really, really hard for those people to concentrate during that 2-week period. And so they need their hand held. And since sugar's everywhere and it's ubiquitous, and some of the foods have sugar and you don't even know it, like, how do you avoid it if you don't know it's there? It's one thing to avoid alcohol if you know it's, because you know where it is. But you don't necessarily know where sugar is. So that makes it a little bit harder. All right? Another thing you could do is artificial sweeteners, in an attempt to try to get rid of fructose. Well, it turns out that artificial sweeteners are not a great answer either. And the reason is because artificial sweeteners raise your insulin too. And that's driving chronic metabolic disease. And it's also interfering with leptin, which is extinguishing the reward signal. So artificial sweeteners are probably not the be-all and end-all of this. They're kind of like methadone is to heroin. Okay, better, but not the answer. All right. So, and then, weaning. Well, weaning is a good idea, but how do you wean? Especially when all of the, sugar in your food is fixed. You have to change the food in order to be able to wean properly. So it's definitely hard, and it's not reimbursed by insurance. They don't recognize sugar addiction as a real thing yet. It's one of the things we're trying to do is trying to get it onto the DSM-6. The DSM-5 was in 2013, and it did not list sugar addiction. But the WHO, actually in their ICD-11 codes, there is a place for sugar addiction. So in America, there's no such thing as sugar addiction, whereas around the world there is. So this is another thing we have to fix.
If you enjoyed that clip, you're going to want to head over here and catch a full episode. I'll see you over there.
It's poison. And it actually detracts from metabolic health. And we have the data to show how and why. Because fructose